A telecommunication corridor will be constructed between Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan. The fiber optic line will run along the bottom of the Caspian Sea and allow e-data transfer from Europe to Asia. Stay tuned for more details. Kazakhstan's transit opportunities are increasing. The volume of transit traffic through the country reached almost 20 million tons by the end of last year. The United States and Central Asian countries have discussed ways of cooperation. Areas of strategic partnership development were talked about at the C5+1 meeting format in Tashkent. The construction of Trans-Caspian fiber optic between Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan will start by the end of the year. The fiber optic communication line running along the bottom of the Caspian Sea will become a telecommunication corridor connecting Europe and Asia. The Transcontinental Initiative is aimed to increase the transit potential of digital data in the country. The implementation of Digital Kazakhstan State Program was discussed during the government session. It was noted that this year, budget planning has been transferred to a paperless format, and all customs document circulation will be managed in a single window system. In addition, the Smart Data Ukimet artificial intelligence project, as well as the single platform of competent authorities, is being developed. In total, 90% of public services will be transferred to the electronic format this year. Once the program is implemented, we can achieve the following results. Starting from 2025, GDP will grow to 30%. 67 billion tenge will be invested in digital ecosystems. 97% of the population will be provided with broadband internet access. These plans have been developed on the basis of the world benchmark.
Ол жоспарлар әлемдік бенчмарк негізінде жасалған.
Kazakhstan is a recognized participant in the international community and all global processes. The country has its principled positions on all issues and actively puts forward its ideas and ways to solve problems. To date, the key political figures of the world speak about a majority of projects. Michael Pompeo, who came from an official visit to Kazakhstan over the weekend, has emphasized the importance of strengthening bilateral relations in such areas as trade, investments, IT, promotion of democratic values, and international counter-terrorism. The U.S. Secretary of State highly appreciated the bilateral relations of Kazakhstan and the United States.
Осындай ірі саяси тұлғалардың мемлекетімізге келуі бұл әрине біздің қазіргі таңдағы, яғни мойындалған.
Official visits of world politicians to our country are a sign that we are developing as a state and we are recognized on this level on the international arena. If we say it in a modern language, it's called a developed middle power. Such visits allow us to be aware of what is happening, assessing the condition of bilateral relations and planning further prospects.
Осы қазіргі жағдайын нақтылап, сол қазіргі жағдайына арғарайда баға беріліп, және де алға жоспарлар қою.
У Казахстана с Соединенными Штатами достаточно плодотворные, эффективные двусторонние.
Kazakhstan and the United States have quite a productive and efficient cooperation, which expands from year to year. It strengthens in different areas, starting from trade and economic and ending with military cooperation. Central Asia is a quite diverse region. Positions of member states of Central Asia have its own specificities. In this regard, Kazakhstan is a key player for the U.S. in Central Asia.
В этом смысле Казахстан является ключевым игроком для Соединенных Штатов в пространстве Центральной Азии.
600 new export-oriented enterprises of food and light industry will be established in Kazakhstan in 5 years as a result of the implementation of the Export Acceleration Program. Based on worldwide practice, the program will allow domestic companies to resolve issues of access to foreign markets at no cost. This was announced by Minister of Trade and Integration of Kazakhstan, Bakhit Sultanov. He said that the support system for entrepreneurs today is successfully implemented in various countries such as Canada, Australia, Russia, the United States and Germany. Sultanov also said that the ministry is actively working to defend the interests of Kazakh business and promote Kazakh exports in Central Asia, Eurasia and other markets. In total, within the past 6 months, more than 50 events were held abroad with the participation of 300 local companies. 63 export contracts worth over $270 million were signed due to the events.
Для усиления взаимодействия по продвижению экспорта казахстанской продукции.
Cooperation in promoting the export of Kazakh products, as well as establishing trade cooperation and concluding transactions with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have developed a joint plan of activities. We expect that the indicated mechanisms will reduce the cost of production by 5% to 10%, as well as expand the geography of exports and the range of goods. For example, we have expanded to new markets. For the first time, military equipment was exported to Bangladesh and batteries were sent to Italy under the new measures to support local exporters.
Осуществлена поставка оборудования военного назначения, в Италию аккумуляторы.
Kazakhstan's transit opportunities are increasing based on recorded transit figures. The volume of transit traffic through the country reached almost 20 million tons by the end of 2019. The main bulk of the transit cargo, which amounted to 17.5 million tons, are transported using railways. Last year, the trains transported 11.5 million tons of products to the neighboring Central Asian countries.
Говоря о перевозимых грузов,
Speaking about the transported goods, the main products that are transported are oil, followed by metals, chemicals, soda, as well as grain and other goods. The volume of transit cargo of containers increased by 23% in 2019 compared to 2018 and amounted to 664,000 containers.
в 2018 годом и составила 664 тысяч контейнеров.
To date, a number of international transport corridors connecting Europe and Asia go through the territory of Kazakhstan. The route ensures the speed of delivery and reduced distance between the manufacturer and consumer.
По итогам 2019 года по коридору Транскаспийский международный транспортный маршрут было перевезено
7,400 containers were transported through the Trans-Caspian International Transport Route in 2019. The number was double compared to 2018, when the volume amounted to 3,900 containers. The Eurasian Transcontinental Corridor is beneficial for carriers in terms of value, since the participating countries within the Middle Corridor approved the lowest possible cost for transportation every year. The transit through the territory of the Republic is carried out for 19 days.
Утверждает предельно низкие стоимости для перевозки, а также транзитом через территорию республики перевозка осуществляется в течение 19 дней.
Caspian littoral states are expanding cooperation in the area of hydrometeorology. The cooperation between the states in the area will allow the exchange of accurate and long-term forecasts of changes in water levels. Experts said that the agreement opens up new opportunities, not only for the exchange of information, but also for the cooperation in other areas of hydrometeorology, such as seawater quality, observations on weather and climate forecasts. Within the period, the states have implemented a number of joint projects that are aimed at the protection and preservation of the biodiversity of the Caspian Sea.
В рамках этого Каспийского координационного комитета мы выпускаем уникальные...
Within the framework of the Caspian Coordination Committee, we publish unique catalogs of hydrometeorological parameters. In particular, we created the main catalog of the Caspian Sea level. This is the first time that a data catalog of water surface temperature, air temperature, salinity, and water inflow into the Caspian Sea was created. By using these data, we can analyze the hydrometeorology level at the Caspian Sea and give warnings on dangerous weather conditions.
Предупреждать в опасных гидрометеорологических условиях.
A C5+1 meeting format was held in Tashkent, where discussions on issues such as interaction of Central Asian countries, support for Afghanistan's sustainable development, as well as strengthening cooperation in economy, energy, innovations, and environment were conducted. The U.S. Secretary of State and foreign ministers of Central Asian countries took part in the meeting. Michael Pompeo highlighted that the United States supports the state development and integration processes of the countries in the region. He also said to the foreign ministers of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan that American companies are ready to invest in the region's transport and transit sectors.
Ең біріншіден олар қызығушылық көрсетіп жатқаны мына біздің орталық Азиядағы.
First of all, they are interested in the new trends that are being introduced in Central Asia, particularly in the process of regional integration. It was highlighted during the meeting that the US supports the processes in Central Asian countries. Currently, America is ready to invest in trade, transport, and transit sectors on a regional scale.
транспорт, транзит мәселелеріне инвестиция салуға дайын екенін растады.
Honored cultural figure of Kyrgyzstan, Vladimir Gorovoi, is the master of a unique intarzia, or wood inlay technique, and the creator of the Ala Archa state residence design, as well as the designs of offices of many presidents. The rich and unique works of the famous artist can be publicly seen in Bishkek. An exhibition of Vladimir Gorovoi was opened at the Kyrgyz National Museum of Fine Arts. The event showcased 30 artworks in various genres, themes, and styles.
Мои работы коллекционирует Путин, королева Англии.
My artworks are collected by President Putin, the Queen of United Kingdom in the Buckingham Palace, as well as former US President Bush. The Austrian president also has my works. My art is available in China and all around the world. The Chinese embassy usually comes to me, chooses my artworks, and presents them to state figures.
Везут, дарят там первым лицам государства.
The artist taught a number of talented masters. Wooden panels and works of one of Vladimir Gorovoi's students, Salamat Almasbekova, are displayed at the exhibition.
Бұл картинаның атын вдохновение деп атап қойғам, анткени.
This artwork is called Inspiration. It is made of many small natural details without the use of paints.
Бұл деген натуралдуу, эч боёксуз картина.
There are more than a dozen of artworks made of wood inspired by the Manas Kyrgyz epic in the workshop of Vladimir Gorovoi. The master of the unique style made characters of many heroes of the epic from high-quality woods. Art critics said that the work of the artist fully reflects the unique beauty of the country. Many artworks of Vladimir Gorovoi are presented in various museums and private collections in Europe, the United States, China, and other countries. Information about the father of Abai Kunanbai is made available after years of research made by Kazakh scholar. The presentation of the book, made by rector of Eurasia National University, Yerlan Sidikov, was held at the National Academic Library as part of the 175th anniversary of the great poet Abai Kunanbai. The 28-chapter scientific biography tells about the main stages of life, formation, and rule of Kunanbai. The book portrays him as a diplomat, a major political figure who has directed all his efforts towards the development of the country and people.
Шәкәрім тарихи биографиясын жазған едім. Қазір Шәкәрім кітабы.
The idea of writing a book was preceded by a publication called Shakarim. The book is translated and published in 6 languages. I thought that the continuation of the development of this topic is a good idea. Therefore, I decided to start working on the book Kunanbai. This book is the result of many years of scientific study and research. There were plenty of materials. I included all the information collected in the book. I am very happy to see that recently the book was published in Moscow.
Мәскеуден шығып келіп қуанышқа бөліп отыр.
Kunanbai кітабын оқыған кезде Kunanbaiдің өмірі, Kunanbaiдің заманы.
The book describes the life of Kunanbai. It tells about his origin, his descendants, and his contribution to the development of the Kazakh people and on successful parenting. Kunanbai was a purpose-driven man. He believed in the power of education. His sons, Khailiola and Abai, received a quality education. For example, Abai studied in madrasa for 3.5 years. Then he studied at a Russian school for 6 months. Abai grew up as a very intelligent person due to his father, Kunanbai.
Абайдың данышпан ойшыл болуы әкесі Kunanbaiдің арқасы.
Poems of Abai Kunanbai have been translated into Farsi. Gauhar Omarkhanova has actively introduced the works of the great poet to the Iranian people for 10 years. She said that the main thing in her work is to choose the right translation for Abai's poems, while the rest are done by the master himself, whose works can win the hearts and minds of the readers. At the same time, it is important to preserve the originality of his works. Abai Kunanbai is one of the greatest representatives of the Kazakh nation, and we are happy and proud to represent our country through his works. That is why I really love his poems and prose. I have collected all his books in different languages that I could find in Iran. Most of the book fairs in Tehran showcase Abai's works due to Gauhar's efforts. She made a huge contribution in promoting the Kazakh culture and literature in the Middle East. In addition, the Iranians can also learn about Kazakh traditions on TV or radio news as she works in a local media company in the country. In the near future, she hopes to make Abai's personal library more accessible to the local residents.
The
Path of Abai is translated into Persian language and Russian, and of course, it is preserved in the original Kazakh language. The poems are also translated into Persian and English. Gauhar not only translates the works of Abai into Farsi, but she also translates them into Russian and English.